Thanks for staying with us. We have with us on the couch Sylvester Jue. He's a Cambridge-educated mathematician and PhD holder. He's a visionary founder of EduTech, and a tech-enabled educational platform positioned to transform learning across sub-Saharan Africa, leveraging 20 years of expertise in education, AI, and data science. Jue's mission is to provide personalized education in resource-constrained environments. And this morning, he's here to talk about the integration of AI in education and sports developments in children. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing? I'm good.
Yeah, I'm very well.
All right, Jue, talk to us. The integration of AI. We are in an era of AI, where AI is being introduced to us, and in different forms and in different ways. With AI, you could prepare for an interview, it prepares you for an interview. With AI, you could write a story, use a script. With AI, you could basically do anything. And now you are to talk to us about how it could be incorporated into our education system and the sports industry. So talk to us about, first off, for people joining us who really do not understand what AI is, talk to what is AI and why do we need AI in these times? How important is it?
I'll start by, it's a very good starting point, defining AI, because to many people, AI means different things.
It did different things, exactly.
AI is artificial intelligence, so it's not real, it's artificial. So it's typically getting machines to behave as though or perform tasks that will be that will require human intelligence. So, but their intelligence is not real, so that is why we've got the artificial. So it learns, the machine learns from data, whatever the form of data is, and it can perform those tasks when given something similar.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the importance, because you're here to talk about the integration of it in education and sports.
Yeah. I think education and sports, in my opinion, kind of operate in a synergy to enable the development of a child to become a successful adult or a successful citizen. So the integration of AI within education kind of boosts the impact or how education improves or develops that child in that direction in a number of ways that are also similar to that of sports. So let's look at different aspects of how education and sports operate together in developing the child. A good one, in my experience, is your self-belief.
As a child?
As a child.
Now, let's talk about the age bracket here.
Yeah. I think self-belief cuts across every child. It cuts across every individual, believing that I can do it. It's the same for sports, and it's the same for education. Another aspect is, if you start looking at when we are developing in life, we always have obstacles. So the self-belief makes you overcome those obstacles, and that will be seen as resilience.
I agree.
Resilience. Then, if in sports, as an athlete, every day you go for training, you get to that point where you're like, you want to give up, but you must not give up. These are traits that are so hidden. It's not about the performance, it's about the process. It's the same in education. Every day in school, you make mistakes and you learn from those mistakes. So I wouldn't call them failures, I'll call them learning points. But now, if you come in that particular circumstance where you make mistakes in school, and you've got a personal tutor that will support you, an AI bot supporting you, he aids you in overcoming that obstacle even faster, but then it doesn't take away that self-belief that you can do it yourself. Then, importantly, another aspect is your personal drive and vision. I know you've got a question.
Yes, I have. Let's go back a bit, just piggyback a bit on the AI bot helping this child, to improve on what they are, in where they are lagging, in their learning process. How can you incorporate this? Now, I'm going to use a public school as an example, because, I mean, the private schools can afford these, technology in whatever form or in whatever way. But the public schools, how do you help a child to improve in that regard when you have teachers who are not even tech savvy.
Yeah, I think you make a very good point, and that actually buttresses the reason why we need the machines or AI to support, because the machines thrive in resource-restrained environments.
Okay.
So if you have just your mobile phone, you can access these technologies. And in fact, some of them, you can even integrate using just the basic phone, USSD. So we've got those capabilities and we could deploy them.
Okay.
But I think the critical point here is that AI can learn the child, understands their areas of strengths and weaknesses. But even more importantly, it actually learns things that might not be evident to the human. The human might be aware, but because we can't process so much information. Imagine a math will have about 200 and something learning objectives. We cannot process all of them at the same time for every single child in our class, even if it's just 10 children.
Okay.
Now you're a maths teacher, you go into a class, you can't process all that information at speed as well. But the machine can do that in a couple of seconds and actually pick out what is most important for that particular child, drawing on their inspiration and their interest and their aspiration, what they want to be in future.
Fantastic. So you talked about self-belief. There's another point you were about to bring.
Yeah, the next point I was trying to make is actually what I just alluded to, their vision, where they want to be. That is what drives everything, because no matter how passionate I am about or how driven I am, if I'm facing the wrong direction, I'll trend in the wrong direction, I'll move in the wrong direction. So I have to keep my eyes on my vision. So again, the machine or an AI bot understands that you're a journalist and I'm a tech person, but when we were about 20 years ago, you wanted to be a journalist, maybe I wanted to be a tech expert. So the machine will say, oh, math is more important to this person.
Oh,
and maybe
so it
English
also acts as a guidance counselor as well.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
So it puts all those in perspective. So the child becomes a thriving individual in the future. And underlining all this, something that is quite subtle is that I remember when I was a child in the 80s, we used to play a lot of games. So with time, we started wondering, how do these games operate? So we started playing around, trying to fiddle to actually figure out, how do I get to the end of the game? From there, we started going into the era of programming. So with the child being exposed, particularly where we have the rural area, to this AI technology, it begins to make them think, how do these things work? Which brings us to the point of AI literacy.
I think AI literacy is very key in this age.
It's critical, yes.
It's very critical. I think this is a time for this education, to be enforced in schools, encouraged rather in schools. AI literacy is very key so that, the young ones are, informed of this, and, it also helps them as well. Thank you so much, Joelle. This has been quite an interesting conversation on the integration of AI in education and sports development in children. Well done.
It was my pleasure.
You're welcome.
Let's keep the conversation going.
Right. I agree.